Welcome to my channel. It's video number 31. I'm going to show you how to set up one-way trust relationship with selective authentication. I will show you first um, from my previous example how to control permission for different users. And then we're going to start setting up another trust from my child domain back to Nesium, and then I'll show you how selective authentication works. So first, I already have from my previous video number 30, I have one-way trust relationship. Nesium is trusted domain, which means incoming trust was set up on nesiam.com. That means I'm able to use Nesium credentials and permission on objects stored on other domain controller. So this is just a simple demonstration. I will use two nesiam.com users. I'm going to add them to a folder stored on other domain, and nesiamUser will have write permission, modify permission, and admin from Nesiam can only read. Let's see how that works. So technically, because of trust relationship, every single user can access objects, but it's still subject to additional permission, object permission and local permission. So let's just share it. It doesn't really matter for this presentation. So I'm allowing everyone to change. It's set up on the share, but NTFS permission will control real access. Okay, so that's set up on otherdomain.com. And this is outgoing trust, which means nesiam.com is trusted. Switching back to nesiam.com, and let's test it. So first I'm logged in as administrator to nesiam.com DC domain controller. Let's see if I can access other domains, and let's see if I can access the folder, what kind of permission I have. So who am I? I'm logged in as domain admin on the domain nesiam.com. Okay, let's see if I can create anything. If my setup works, administrator should not be able to create anything. Yep, that's NTFS permission on other domain just kicked in. Okay, but I added another user, which was nesiamUser, and that user is supposed to be able to make changes. So let's see if I can log in using a different login credentials. So let me map it and select connect using different credentials. And I want to use this user for this specific connection and mapping. And now let's see if I'm able to create a new folder. This new folder was created before as a test. Okay, so it works. The administrator user was not supposed to have, had only read-only access, and I just proved that this is working the way it should. Okay, so right now I have two different forests. One is called otherdomain.com. The other one is called nesiam.com. We already created a one-way trust relationship between Nesiam and other domain. In other domain forest, there's a child domain called LA. Let's see if I'm able to access it. Yes, I can access it from Nesiam. So this only proves that this is a forest transitive trust, which means any domain in the forest can participate in this trust. So which means I can access from Nesium other domain, and I can also access LA, which is a child domain. Okay, I'm logged in now to my child domain, la.otherdomain.com. Let's see if we're able to access Nesium from this domain. It's a child domain to other domain, and other domain is an outgoing domain, which means it's not supposed to be able to access nesiam.com. It can only honor nesiam.com credentials, so it's able to forward credentials. Okay, so other domain has a trust, outgoing trust relationship. An LA domain has automatic trust with the parent because it's a child domain. Who am I? I'm logged in as LA administrator. Let's see if I can access sysvol. No, I cannot. All right. What if I add conditional forwarder and I can ping the domain controller? So something else is working. Yes, it is. The trust. The trust is preventing me from accessing nesiam.com, which is a trusted domain. If it's a one-way domain and I am trusting domain, I cannot access your permission. Only trusted domain can access, not permission, objects. So trusted domain can access objects stored on trusting domain, not the other way around. If you have two-way trust relationship, it doesn't matter. It goes both ways. All right, so let's just see if we restart. I added conditional forwarder, restarted DNS service. Let's see if this makes any difference. So I flash DNS, I can ping it again. Yeah, it's resolving one of my domain controllers. I have two, 199 and 200. Let's run a replication just to make sure there's no issue, although this is really not relevant. No problems. Okay, so we have conditional access, conditional we have conditional forwarding set up from LA to nesiam.com. I'm still trying, but clearly I'm not able to access it. Okay, so let's see if we set up trust relationship from LA, which is the child domain, to Nesium, which is the root domain of the forest, nesiam.com. In LA, I have two accounts. It's called LA user and LA bozo. I will use these two accounts to test once we set up the trust relationship. Okay, so let's start. So in this configuration, LA, the child, will be the incoming domain from Nesium. So Nesium will be outgoing domain. So question for you, which permission can be used on the other domain? LA on Nesium or the other way around? Same here. I can do on both. If I know credentials for the other domain, I do. The other domain here is Nesium. So right now, outgoing. So we have domain-wide authentication or selective authentication. We want to pick selective authentication. So we get to decide which specific user of the domain instead of all users, which specific user can access. But this is not really true. You're still setting up all users. You're just controlling permission on the actual resource. I'll show you next. Okay. So the trust relationship is set up. Now I'm testing if I'm able to log in on the Nesium joined Windows 10 client as LA user. What about LA Bozo? I can't. It's talking about some kind of firewall. What is going on? The trust is set up. Trust relationship is set up, so why I'm not able to log in? Well, there's one more step you have to take. So once you set up um, this trust with selective authentication, you actually have to make changes on the resource itself. Okay. At the top, in the top portion of the screen, it tells you it's an external, non-transitive trust outgoing, which means LA is the incoming. And the one at the bottom is the other trust, the one we set up in the previous videos. So in this trust, Nesium is incoming. It's a little confusing, but I think you got it by now. Okay, so what do we do? I want to be able to log in as LA user on Nesium machine. So I need to figure out which objects, which computer. So in this configuration, you are making changes on the computer, not on the user or file folder. You're deciding to which computer a specific person is able to log in. Okay, so the name of my client is called Nesiam 110. This is it. I'm on the domain controller of nesiam.com. I'm looking for the computer object that matches this name. This is it. Now I'm adding permission because of the trust relationship where LA is incoming. I should be able to see LA domain. I do. Now I can look for a specific user. So I want LA user to be able to get authenticated on this machine. That's pretty much all you have to do. It's a lot of work that you have to remember to manually change if you don't need it anymore. But this is an option that exists in case you need it. Okay, so we set that up. Let's see if we can test it again, if it's going to work now. So we're going back to the same client that didn't let us log in as LA user. And let's see if we can log in now. So this machine is joined to nesiam.com. I want to log in as LA /LA Bozo. I did not allow Bozo to be authenticated, so this account should not be allowed to log into this machine. It can't. The message is still the same. All right, let's try another one. Let's try administrator of LA. It's a domain admin, so it should work. Of course not. And finally, we're going to try LA user, the one we just added to the computer object, the attribute security. I'm able to log in. Again, you set up a one-way trust relationship. You select selective authentication, and you have to go into the resource. You do it from the domain controller and allow specific user or group of users to log in, to be authenticated. Let's confirm. I'm logged in as LA user. And the name of the computer is Nesiam 110, and oh, I made a mistake. There's no such thing as logon sever. and I'm being authenticated by LA Other DC10. So everything works great. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day.